On May 4, 1919, aspiring young people in China went campaigning for the reclamation of their motherland sovereignty. Time is like waves of sand, pushing them to the front line of the history. Regardless of Chen Duxiu or Li Dazhao, Lu Xun or Wen Yiduo, they all express their patriotism in their own way. Lu Xun once wrote in his work, "A real warrior dared to face the bleak life and the dripping blood. With his sharp style of writing, he nailed his emotions thoroughly and vividly. Now let's go through his passion and aspiration."
Although he was not the first person in the May 4 movement, he was the last one who stood firmly in his position. Most writers either break with the past or flee from all change. But Lu Xun did not only conquer the old world, but also resisted the arrival of the new world with the same fierce attitude. For most of the writers of that period, the new culture was only a theory, but for Lu Xun, it's a personal experience of the flesh and blood after a struggle. His first novel, Diary of a Man, written under the pen name Lu Xun, appears in the New Youth, Volume 5, Number 4. Diary of a Madman reveals thoroughly the absence of Chinese federalism and its spiritual pillar of cannibalism, which is practical significance consistent with the requirements of China's social and historical development at that time, as well as the development direction of the cultural movement. On March 1990, on the eve of the May 4th movement, the Beijing Morning Post reports the Lu Xun's Diary of a Madman, attacking the melody of funk system and ethic, is the vanguard of the revolutionary thought in literature.
The May 4th movement was very large, with many schools and students participating. But Mao Zedong once said regretfully, in the May 4th period, those who were working on the new literature, I had met Li Dazhao, Chen Duxiu, Hu Shi, and Zhou Zuoren, but I never met Lu Xun. At that time, Mao Zedong only stayed in Beijing for a few months. Although he had never met Lu Xun, he was full of respect and admiration for him. Mao Zedong repeatedly stated, "My heart and Lu Xun's are interlinked."
Chen Duxiu plays a vital important role as the commander-in-chief of the May 4th movement. Now let's date back to the history and follow his story.
On September 15, 1950, the journal was established by Chen Duxiu. Youth magazine was published in Shanghai, and on September 1st, 1916, he renamed it as New Youth, which henceforward had guided warm-blood children in Chinese nation with inspiring content, and what he wrote in the article giving youth. Youth is thriving like the early spring, energetic like the rising sun, fresh like the germinated buds, and keen like the newly sharpening sword. The youth experiencing the most valuable period of life.
Since the beginning of the publication, the content of New Youth had established the ethos of launching a stone on feudalism and its decayed ideology with the instructive theory of democracy and science. Meanwhile, Chen Duxiu put forward the ideas of democracy in the fields of politics, religious belief, economy, society, and ethics. He called on the young people to defeat evil and determined to be the nonconformist in accordance with the scientific and rational thinking. Additionally, he conducted rigorous popularization on the theory of democracy and science, which had made tremendous contributions to the progress of thought, by awakening a generation of young people who had been tied to the feudal shackles for a long time.
As one of the leading figures at that time, during the May 4th movement, he struggled with the pen in his hand. The words showed hardship, the heart with grief and anger, the blood with ambition and enthusiasm. Due to the undimmed torch of ideological liberation that he had lightened, he was praised by Mao Zedong as the commander-in-chief of the May 4th movement.
When it comes to Chen Duxiu, we are always marveled with his greatness. As his comrade in arms, Li Dazhao also has a household name for his contribution to the Chinese revolutionary work. Now let's see his story.
Li Dazhao, a great man of morality and eloquence, was born in October 1889 in Hefei province, when the fate of China hung in the balance. Bad times make a good man. At this very moment, Li Dazhao proved worthy of the people's trust. As a scholar, after returning from Waseda University, he made positive contributions to new culture movement. Also, with his erudition and resolution, Li fought against the feudal forces and inspired passion in younger generation. After the October Revolution in 1917, Marxism appealed to Li. He soon became the earliest Marxist communicator in China, and wrote a large number of books publicizing Marxism. During the May 4th movement in 1925, Li Dazhao, along with Zhao Shiyan, organized more than 50,000 demonstrators in Beijing. In March 1926, he led and personally participated in March 18th movement under the extremely dangerous circumstances.
Li persuaded people to apply the spirit of May 4th movement and unite regardless of boundary in resisting the imperialism and opposing the warlords' traitorous acts. As pioneer, he and Chen Duxiu set the story of Nancheng Beili, founding the party, laying the foundation for the Communist Party of China. As a revolutionary, he has no sectarianism. Looking back on Li's life, he is free of corruption and always upright. Indifferent to fame and fortune, and even funeral is settled by others. He shouted, "Sacrifice is always the price of success," vowing to dedicate himself into the party. In the face of severe punishment, he refused to sell out to the Communist Party.
Besides Chen Duxiu and Li Dazhao, Wen Yiduo is also an outstanding representative of the May 4th movement. How did he devote himself to the anti-imperialism and anti-feudalism? Let's go and see.
It was on May 5th, 1919, in the campus of Tsinghua University on the outskirts of Beijing. Early in the morning, the students here had heard about the movement. Before Tiananmen from the classmates were surprised to find a red poster on the entrance of the dining hall, with the neatly copied lines of Man Jianhong, a famous song poem which was originally written by a patriotic general Yue Fei. Therefore, the tranquil Tsinghua University was suddenly got bustling. The student who posted the poem was a sophomore. At that time, Wen Yiduo was not considered as a radical person, but actually absolutely upheld patriotism. In 1917, after the Duan Cavalry dominated the Beiyang government, participated in World War I, the British Recruitment Bureau came to employ Chinese translators, which was regarded as a way to serve the country by Tsinghua students. Kanzangbao and Uzuri, patriotic students were enrolled, but because of the divergence before their departure, they were forced to return and was given a record of demerit. Then Wenyiduo shouted, "Patriotism is not guilty. Patriotism cannot be deprived." This sentence is considered by the students to be very incisive and went viral for a while.
When Tsinghua University held a meeting of 57 people to discuss whether to participate in the May 4th movement, Wenyiduo said, "All students in Beijing should do everything possible to save our country. Therefore, it is our obligation to join the movement, unless Tsinghua is not a university for Chinese nation." His joint speech had promoted the foundation of the Tsinghua student delegation for the May 4th movement. The march on June 4th was the best illustration of Wenyiduo's courage and patriotism. On the previous day, over 100 students were arrested, and Wenyiduo, who had never participated in a march before, resolutely joined. He even prepared the banding, ready to be arrested. So we can see that although Wenyiduo was called the master of the building, which meant that he had devoted himself to classics for a long time without leaving the house, the flame of patriotism, democracy, and science would never be extinguished in his heart. As he himself said, "I was childish, but if it hadn't been, there wouldn't have been the May 4th movement either." After hearing the full stories, do you have a better understanding of the May 4th spirit? Our youth is longed for by it and written by us. Our times is led by it and created by us. Let's inherit the spirit of the May 4th movement and strive to be the new youth of the new era.